should be. You must hold it nice and lightly.
Whoa.
Pull back a little bit, little bit, little bit.
Yeah.
Little movements.
Well, you're a very gentle teacher. Not what I was expecting.
You must, everything in flying has to be very, 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 very slow movements and all that stuff. Now, where's the airfield then?
Amstrad was now selling across Europe, as well as on British high streets. There, the relationship between Dixon's and Amstrad's boss was a battle.
He would write the most violently aggressive letters to us, telling us that our demands were unreasonable, etc. and so forth. He didn't believe in the principle of building up goodwill.
As Sugar saw it, Dixon's was taking a slice of his profits. He used to refer to them as one of those arsehole retailers.
I think I'd probably respond by saying that's only because we have to sell the crap that you're making.
Sugar developed a new computer for the lucrative business market, taking on the world leader, IBM.
The Amstrad PC 1512. Compatible with you-know-who. Priced as only we know how.
But long-term business clients expected ever more sophisticated technology, putting a strain on Sugar's lean and mean organisation.
Amstrad, the personal computer and video group, has seen a sharp fall in its half-yearly profits. They were down by £15 million. The chairman, Alan Sugar, admitted the company had made mistakes.
We expanded too quickly and we screwed up. We didn't have enough engineering, enough understanding of the technology as it got more complex, and I take total responsibility for that. No one else. It's no one else's fault.
Thousands of customers reported problems with a new range of business computers, forcing Sugar to recall the lot. It turned out to be a fault in the hard drives supplied to Amstrad.
The way we used to buy hard drives, we did no qualification of the product and did no qualification of the drive other than getting one, sticking it in, making sure it worked, assuming that these giant companies that made hard drives knew more than us.
There is a sort of slight tragedy in the Amstrad computer brand. At one time it just dominated our shelves. It was Amstrad, Amstrad, Amstrad. But then he started to expand the range and he ran into certain technical problems. And his goodwill with us was very fragile. And we were always looking for new brands to stock. And in due course, that process started. So this great brand, Amstrad, started to become not the #1 seller.
It dealt a very deep wound to Amstrad from which really it never recovered. Had that not happened, I think Amstrad today would be a huge company, but we were killed. We were killed by those component manufacturers.
Years later, Sugar won compensation in court for the faulty drives. But the damage to Amstrad's reputation in the business market was done.
He was really emotionally terribly affected by it. And it was the first sort of thing that happened that had sort of really hurt him, really stopped the company in its tracks in a way. So yes, he was very deeply affected by it.
Whatever his problems at work, Sugar had made enough money to cheer himself up with long holidays in the sun. Today he's got a home in Florida and another here in Marbella in Spain.
Hello, how are you?
So this is the courtyard.
Yeah, this is a typical Spanish courtyard.
This is gorgeous.
Lounge, and we've got the statutory large plasma screen.
Yep. Room to hang out with your friends.
Yeah, grandchildren, kids.
Look out here.
And you've got the sea.
And the pool. So how much time in the year do you spend here?
Well, it varies. You can have a week here, a week back home, or in the summer I might spend 2 weeks here.
Is it quite a bit then?
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
Get much use out of the pool?
I don't like swimming. I could maybe just save my life if I had to, but I've never been able to swim properly.
And don't you ever think, I mean, you don't need to go back to work, do you? Financially. Don't you ever think, this is so nice, I'll just hang out here?
No way would I live here in Spain.
Really? I must say, I'd be tempted to think, hello, Marbella, goodbye, Chigwell.
Not in a million years. Never. I mean, it's very nice to have the sun shining and all that stuff. You don't want to be here when the sun's not shining, because there's absolutely nothing to do, nowhere to go, and that's it. So it's good for the sun.
Even at the height of his success, Sugar always put aside holidays, evenings and weekends for family life. And that was a different world, run by Anne.
Thanks a lot.
Did you discuss business with her when you come home?
No, because I guess that I knew that she would not have anything to offer me other than telling me to stop worrying. That's about it.
The minute he walks through the door, I've only got to look at his face and I know whether he's had a bad day or a good day, and I know when he's had a bad day, I just never pestered him or asked him any questions. I knew when he was ready to talk, he would talk. But I never ever knew much about the actual running of the business or anything like that.
The Sugars had long been fans of their local team, Spurs. When it hit financial trouble in the 80s, Sugar suddenly stepped in.
What on earth made you decide to buy Tottenham Hotspur?
I don't know. I happen to know Terry Venables, who was the manager at the time, so I just picked up the phone to ask to speak to him, knowing that he was kind of put together some consortium of some kind, and that's it. Mad, no?
Anne Sugar was used to not being told about her husband's work, but this time, even she was shocked.
He just came home one day and said to me, I bought Tottenham Hotspur. I went mad. And it was just unbelievable how fast it all happened.
And did you not say, darling, you might have told me just a little bit about your plans?
No, because that was typical Alan. That is Alan.
What do you think of the proposition that hard-headed businessmen, who are tremendously shrewd and sharp, when they go into show business or when they go into something like football, they seem to lose their marbles, don't they? They seem to lose all good sense.
Yeah, I heard that, and I've been warned of that by some very good friends, and that's really, I think the thing going for me is that I'm not a football fanatic.
When he took on Spurs and went in on the first day, he had a nasty surprise, because I think he found now that he was now moving with people from an entirely different world.
Let me just quote one thing you said about footballers. You said they don't know what honesty or loyalty is. They're the biggest scum that walk on this planet. Is that really what you think?
Yeah. Not all of them. Can I say what you're doing is you're doing a Daily Mail here, aren't you? You've read it from a newspaper, right?
Merely as a
you
prompt.
picked it up from a newspaper.
Get over it. I'm using it merely as a prompt to say,
No, you
what
picked
do you
it up
think
from
of
a
it?
newspaper, and the
Okay, will
newspaper
you
conveniently dropped.
If I can get a word in edges, tell me in your own words then what you think of football players.
I think that most of them are selfish, self-centred, you know, people who only care about themselves. They don't give a damn about their football clubs. They're mercenaries. Some of them are scumbags of the lowest order that if they weren't in football might be in prison. Some of them, yeah.
Handling the footballers themselves was supposed to be Terry Venables' job. He'd been appointed chief executive. But that meant he also had a hand in running the business. And that led to trouble with Sugar, the chairman.
Well, I think that Terry, in hindsight, must have thought, oh, you know, this rich bloke coming along wants to own a football club. And so if you think that, then you can also think, stick him in the corner, give him a couple of seats there, let him have it, you know, go to the boardroom for lunch every day, and that'd be it. He'd be happy. Give us the money and off we go.
Venables knew the football game very well, and Sugar felt he wasn't kept properly informed as the chairman as to how the club was being run, how football was being run.
After 2 years, Sugar sacked Venables, and all hell broke loose.
The fans who thought he was Tottenham Hotspur vented their outrage at a decision which still has no official explanation.
I think I can speak on behalf of the rest of the players and say we're not happy. I haven't actually spoke to him, but I know that's going to be the feeling in the camp.
What I didn't realise was that in football terms, I had shot back.